Hello guys, Olga with you. In this video I decided to make a video and talk how it feels to feel yourself a refugee. In Ukraine we don't really have such refugees that all people used to have, because I guess Ukraine do not pay anything, Ukraine do not care about anything. None of these refugees was actually coming to Ukraine. So all stories about refugees, what you hear and what you know, I just know from the news about European countries. And here in one moment, okay, you have real war in the country. You are moving to nowhere, and you are not somebody that have nothing to lose. You are not somebody that you was totally, I don't know what you was doing. You can have very normal life in Ukraine. Your kids is going to good school. You used to buy some good clothes. You used to live in some good apartment, drive car, and so on. And here you are running, and you actually on the nowhere. I guess any person who achieved something in his life, who was trying his best all his life, such person will never feel comfortable when somebody see him weak, when he by himself feel that he become weak and he's not able to deal with situation and he don't know what to do. So this is somehow the situation which I have now, because yes, I used to always count only on my own. I know that I'm the one who is responsible for everything. I don't like to ask something for free or so, there is a lot of people who don't mind whatever they can see, they can take it and use situation for their benefit, even if they are not needed so much. They are very happy to take it, because yes, Europe support Ukraine. They give them so many options. They give them everything. You can see flags everywhere, and this is true. They support from their side as much as they can, but at the end, how much they can support? If there is 2 million people by now, I guess, leave Ukraine, what they can do with all these people? Which kind of support they can give at the end? So, for example, about accommodation, refugee camp in Denmark. That is really crazy. I don't know if really people who is living there, they even have right to go outside, because I came to migration department. I need to give them some information, and we was waiting on the gates, and there was some other Ukrainian family came to visit some Ukrainians inside, and they said you cannot enter, these people cannot go out. We have one room, I feel it's like in prison. In the entrance, you can come, and under our supervision, you can meet them, you can talk with them, and then they will go back to camp, and you will go back. And this is the people who don't have where to live in Denmark, and they want to come and claim some help. This is how they will end up. So for me, this is not acceptable. This is too much for me. I guess if I will not be able to find normal place to stay here, and I will be totally running out of money, I would better back to Ukraine than end up living in the refugee camp, where you cannot freely going out and doing anything. I'm not saying that I used to live some kind of luxury life.
And sometimes when I talk about Ukraine, a lot of guys tell me that you don't know how live poor people, you don't know how live people in small villages, in small cities, because you are in Kiev, you are rich, you have great life, and so on and so on. So actually I want to say you first, I'm not from Kiev. I'm originally from the city in West Ukraine. Yeah, it's not small, not big, but it's something like a very average city. And my family is actually most likely, you can say, poor than even not poor. And I guess we was below the average person at all. So for example, all my life I remember that we was having debts, and the debts for apartment. And this is not apartment like you have installment or something. No, apartment was our, but we wasn't able to pay bills. And since 8 years old till I don't know 17, 20, I remember that all our apartment was always under arrest. They was always coming, hitting the door and saying that now we will start taking all the things from your apartment to sell to cover the bills. And when I was a child and I was sitting alone at home, like child, about 10 years, 11 years old, and I was sitting alone when my parents was at work. So they know that there is a light, they see that there is light in windows, so there is somebody at home, and I'm not opening the door. So actually after that I decided, okay, I will be sitting very quiet, my TV will be very quiet, and at all I will have no lights. So if there is some communal, these guys will come to demand the debts, at least I will pretend that there is nobody at home, because I was so much scared to have all that. I was afraid that they will at all break the door and will come inside. And actually, yeah, I wasn't able to study in university, one, because we didn't have money. I wasn't able to buy any kind of clothes except secondhand, and this was till, I don't know, till I guess I finished university and I start working. Before that, I was all my life was very miserable and very poor. So nowadays, when somebody say that you don't know how people live, I know I was living all my life in this. All my life I was living in poorness, and even nowadays I can afford many things for myself. At the same time, when I go to supermarket, I see that yes, buying juice for every day, this is very expensive. I feel it is very expensive because on my childhood this was something that you can buy only on holiday, or for example some kind of types of cheese or some kind of sweets. It's always just for holiday, and even till nowadays, even I can pay for it, I still feel that I'm spending so much money on these things and I can live actually on a very basic level.
If in the beginning, when I just crossed the border from Poland, you was feeling wow. First, you was feeling finally you crossed this border where you was staying and sleeping, not sleeping even, 3 days. Then for some moment you feel wow, it's interesting. You see another country, you see another culture. You feel yourself somehow like a tourist, even not a tourist, but you have some. It's interesting because you see some new things. So now, since I guess more than 2 weeks, yeah. I am really not interested to see anything. You know, I so much fed up to live always with the bags. You come and move. You come and move. You are not sitting anywhere. You have so totally not organized things. Okay, so this is actually our food. It is usually packed like this because again, every 2-3 days, you need to change it, and we fed up packing it and taking it out, packing and taking it out. It's a nightmare for me. Really, so we just keep it like that. The things which we need, we put in fridge. The things which we don't need, we just keep permanently like that, and keep moving and moving with such stuff. This is again our things packed in the bags here, our backpacks, and all the things is permanently like that. We just, I fed up with hassle to open it and close it. All my clothes is always in these bags. Yesterday we arrived to one city in Denmark, and we was waiting for our relative because he was saying that he has place where to we can come, and we was waiting. He is not answering, and we have one kid who is for sure get sick. Everybody is tired, and you totally kids want to eat. You don't have place to cook. You don't have anything. You don't understand anything in the city. And we end up searching any accommodation in Airbnb just to come and sleep. And finally, we were super tired from the way, which take almost all day. And at the end, yes, we find one accommodation they reject. They said no. We find another accommodation, and it's not instantly, so you are losing so much time. And at the end, we find something which has no Wi-Fi, no kettle even here. I see. Somehow I guess this house in half renovation, half ready, but we was fine, you know, just let it be anything. I don't want anything already. I fed up with all that. I just want to have the place to stay, and that's all. Such kind of adventures is for single person, or if you are only 2 adults. But if you are mom with 2 small kids plus 2 elder parents, so you're actually the only one who is somehow responsible for everything, and threw yourself in some things. And let's face the reality, this is a little bit not my style. I'm always try to be in secure choice. I always want to not end up sleeping with my kids somewhere in the street or in some crazy place where actually they will be hungry, and hungry kids, this is not hungry adults. They don't eat any kind of food whatever you can find. They eat very specific food. You need to have secure place for them to cook. You need to have normal place for them to stay. One day we came to stay with our relatives, and their house have super crazy smoke from the cigarettes. And yeah, what you can do? We stay one night, but this is totally not acceptable for me. This is not acceptable for kids by any means. Me by myself, I don't smoke. None of my family is smoking, and staying for kids in that fully smoked house, for me that was a disaster. Anyway, guys, this is the news for today. This is what I have, and thanks for listening this video. I will keep you updated how my things is going on. Okay, guys, love you all. Bye bye.